There are derivatives you must memorize. Most of you probably already have this memorized by heart, right? So you have the power rule, which says n goes down, and you have to subtract 1. And this, because this actually works for any n, say n is a fraction or a negative number, it always works. It actually has a lot of special cases that you should memorize. So for example, x prime, because this is x to the first power prime, 1 comes down and you get x to the 0th power, which is just 1, because anything to the 0th power is 1, right? And then, for example, square root of x, this is x to the 1/2 power. So 1/2 comes down, you have to subtract 1, which is negative 1/2. Well, negative power means it's 1 over x to the 1/2, and anything to the half power is the same as square root of x, right? So that's square root of x. If you multiply these two together, top to top, that's 1. 2 times this is this, right? And 1 over x, if you do the same thing, this is x to the negative 1 prime, negative 1 comes down, x to the negative 2, negative 1 over x squared. Now these examples appear so many times that you should just memorize them, okay? As a separate rule, apart from the power rule. So on top of the power rule, you should also remember that x prime is 1, square root of x prime is 1 over 2 radical x, 1 over x prime is negative 1 over x squared. Now, what else do we also know? Well, we also know that any constant differentiates to 0 because a constant has the graph, which is a flat horizontal line, and the slope of a horizontal line is always 0, right? So constant equals 0, constant prime equals to 0. And then we also learned that e to the x prime is e to the x, and a to the x, you have to memorize this, although we didn't prove it yet. This is equal to a to the x times ln of a. And then finally, the ln of x. This is the only one that I haven't mentioned so far, but this one has the derivative 1 over x. And this also, we haven't gone through this, but to prove this, you need to use the chain rule again. So I'm not yet ready to show you why this is true, but you will have to memorize this as one of the rules. Okay, so writing everything nicely like this, that's our formula. You have to memorize every item in here, and you're going to get questions that use these, so you should try really hard. But you know, if you use these formulas a lot by solving lots of problems, derivative problems, eventually it just gets stuck in your head. So just try to solve all these derivative problems by not looking at this table so often, and at some point you'll be able to memorize. If you consciously try to memorize them, then as you solve more and more problems, you will be able to remember them.